Alright, this is Chef Charles. Today we're going to be making some really good pork tenderloin with some Brussels sprouts, polenta, and a pan barbecue sauce. For the garnish, we did a little bit of Parmesan, salt. That's it. It's really good, easy, quick, cheap dinner. Everybody likes it. Alright, we're going to start with our polenta, or our grits. This is going to be 3 parts liquid, 1 parts corn, which is the grits or the polenta. I only do chicken stock. You're welcome to do just water if you don't have any. You could always add a little bit of chicken base to that. So I start with stock. I'm going to bring this to a boil before I add in my corn. It's about a half quart. Alright, we're at a boil. I'm going to go ahead and add in my polenta. It's just a little smaller, that's really the only difference. Like I said, it's going to be about 3 parts liquid, 1 part's corn. That was about a cup and a half. We started with half of a quart of liquid. So now I was at a boil. Now I'm going to turn my heat down to low, medium heat. And this is going to go for about 20-30 minutes. Alright, we got our polenta on the stove. We're going to do our other side, which is Brussels sprouts today. All I did was I washed them and cut them in half. And I left them back in the bowl that I washed them in so I could evenly coat it with olive oil, garlic, salt and pepper. Then we get a good mix. A little bit more oil. My oven's preheated to 400. I'm gonna go right onto this baking pan. That's gonna go right into the oven. It all depends on the size of the Brussels sprout, but it shoot for around 20-25 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna prep my tenderloin. So I just took it out of the cryovac, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this piece of silver skin off. Not a lot of work, so I like to start it kind of around this area. Take this side off, come back and try to get it on one piece. It's easier to use a fillet knife. I just had this chef's knife because that's how I cut the Brussels. So just the silver skin, I'm gonna leave everything else. I'm gonna square it right here. Have a little fillet right there, little tenderloin. All right, we're gonna season the tenderloin really quick. You can do really whatever you like. I just do kind of like a Cajun seasoning. So a little oil. You could always do just salt and pepper, but I really like this rub. Gives it a nice little color. It's got garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, chili powder. A really good rub also is espresso rub. It's one of my favorites for pork tenderloin, but we're just doing like a Cajun seasoning today. So make sure you cover all sides real nicely. This also has a little salt in it, so I'm not gonna add any salt. All right, we're gonna start with our pork tenderloin. Before we do that, we're gonna throw our Brussels sprouts in the oven so they're ready. I'm on a medium-high heat, turn it up to high for now. Neutral oil, this is peanut oil. If you're allergic to peanuts, use something else, unless you want to die. Okay. My little medallion. I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit, couple knobs of butter. Don't worry about that seasoning getting black. That's why they call it blackening seasoning. It kind of darkens really quickly. It's not going to be good. Shoots my butter and oil under there. Now that I got color on that side, I flipped it. Now I'm going to finish it off in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. My oven's preheated to 400. My Brussels sprouts are in there. Now this is going to cook in there. Alright, it's been on low for about 5 minutes and it's tightened up a lot. So that tells me that I need to add a little bit more liquid because the corn's going to fully cook at about 25-ish minutes. So I added in about a cup of liquid, and it's really important these first 15 minutes that you almost baby it so it doesn't burn, because it's really easy to burn the bottom of it. And if it gets dark and scorches, you're just gonna ruin the whole thing. It's gonna taste bad and bitter. So just baby it, keep an eye on it, show it some love. And you know, this looks normal. It looks very loose, but all that corn is going to soak up that liquid, tighten up, and just keep an eye on it. So I'm going to pop a lid on it, check it every couple minutes, and we'll see it soon. Alright, I'm about 15-20 minutes into my polenta. I'm going to add a dash of Tabasco as well as some heavy cream. So I'm going to whisk that in. I'm gonna let it reduce for another about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna add my cheese, and it's gonna be done. All right, we're at our finishing step for our polenta. You can see it's really thickened up now. I'm gonna finish it with some Parmesan. I'm gonna turn my heat on as low as possible and just fold in this cheese. And that's perfect. You're gonna see that on the plate. All right guys, it's been about 15 minutes. We're gonna pull this baby out, see what she's temping at. That's perfect. You wanna make sure you temp the biggest parts. So I'm gonna get it off the heat, put it on a resting pan, a little medallion. I'm gonna turn my heat back up. Now I'm gonna save all this butter in there. We're gonna make a sauce. We're gonna do a little bit of apple cider. Not too much, just a little bit. Put a Lee in parents. About that much. I'm gonna let this get nice and hot. Okay, we're at a nice boil. I'm just gonna reduce that a little bit. Maybe take 4 or 5 minutes. Careful, we use this pan in the oven. It's gonna be hot, so don't go grabbing it with your bare hands. Make sure you got a dry towel. Never use a wet towel. Okay, that's gotten a little bit thicker. I'm gonna go in with barbecue sauce. Now I want to reduce my heat. I don't want the sauce to break. I'm gonna gently glaze the tenderloin back on there, just like that. Let it come to a boil and it'll be done. You can see that's a really nice consistency. It's not broken, it's not separated, it's really glossy. Season it a little bit. Just a little dry herbs and garlic. All right, we got the tenderloin rested out really nicely. You want to let it rest for at least 5 to 10 minutes minimum. We pulled out our Brussels sprouts. They're really good like this. Get little crispy leaves. They're cooked all the way, they're not too tough. So I got a little plate of polenta here. Just gonna do a little bit of Brussels on there for the plate up. Nothing fancy. Okay, now we're gonna cut our tenderloin. I'm gonna go right in the middle. Get some nice slices. See how we rested it all the way? It's a perfect pink. It's not too pink for like a steak. It's gonna go right there. I like to do the perfect one right up top. Now I'm gonna hit it with some of this barbecue. Not too much, you really don't need a lot. And that's it. If you know that's juicy, you know the rest is gonna be really juicy. That's perfect.